Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I'm Crystal Elgun, your financial strategist, and happy Monday. Part of my job as that strategist, be it on the business side or the personal side, is to help you heal and create and redefine your personal financial relationship, and then to help you build a strong business base, right? I also strive to bring you conversations, topics, things that you may not have thought about, or where you may have thought about a certain thing. I try to shed light so maybe you can think about a thing in a different way or an expanded way that can serve you and again help you heal and redefine your personal financial relationship. I also help with some aha moments, right? Helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release all of that and soar. All of that helps with the breakthroughs. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it in your personal finances or your overall business. Now, all of August was dedicated to life insurance because it's so very important. And I started in August with misconceptions. There are a lot of misconceptions that people have about life insurance. One of them that I found is people, you can call it a misconception or just a lack of understanding that, because I often ask, when you think about life insurance, what do you think about? And people say, the death benefit and maybe somebody having, a little extra money left over, right? And it's so much more to it than that, right? So for the first 2 weeks, misconceptions, first 2 weeks of August. The last 2 weeks of August and all September up until now has been about different ways to use life insurance. Again, bringing you information to expand your knowledge of thinking. You know what life insurance is. Just trying to expand and show you different ways to use life insurance. So go back, look at all of those episodes, find the ones that speak to your soul, and learn more about a thing so that you can use this very, very powerful tool. So I'm going to finish up today with ways to use life insurance with number 15, charitable contributions. And then tomorrow I'm going to start talking about something else, definitely life insurance, but just things to consider when you are looking to get either your first policy or additional life insurance because you might be underinsured, right? So ways to use life insurance. Number 15, charitable contributions. I thought this was a good place to end. Ways to use charitable contributions, because oftentimes we talk about legacy, right? Well, this is one of the ways that you can use life insurance in order to leave a lasting legacy. And so the number one way for using life insurance for charitable contributions, or something for you to think about, is again leaving that legacy. You can designate a charity as the beneficiary of your life insurance policy. And upon passing, the charity receives the death benefit, allowing them to continue their work and further your legacy of giving, right? And I did a get your financial house in order workshop this past Saturday. And one of the ladies that attended the workshop, single, she's never been married, she doesn't have any children. So when I mentioned this part about which I mentioned specific for her because everyone else had children, and I said, you may not have children that you want to leave money for, but there could be that charity or that organization that you really believe in, that you can say, you know what, I need to have a policy anyway, because I need to make sure that somebody can cover the funeral and everything that goes into that. You may want to leave something to some nieces and nephews, but you may also want to leave part of that death benefit to your favorite charity, right? And you can then discuss with that charity ahead of time how you want that to be. Is it going to be a scholarship in your name every year? You may also consider putting it in a trust so that you get to dictate exactly how they use that money. And again, it could be a scholarship every year for the next 40 years or whatever, in the name of you or your family. So again, leaving that lasting legacy, because you need life insurance anyway, for a couple of dollars more, or maybe not even a couple of dollars more, there could be enough in there for you to leave a legacy behind with a charitable organization that you believe in today, right? Um, Number two is maximizing tax benefits. So by naming that charitable organization as a beneficiary, life insurance payout is generally exempt from estate taxes, which can reduce the overall tax burden on your estate, right? I'm not a tax expert. Please talk to your accountant about this information, right? But using it again, it supports your charitable causes, but also can provide some tax relief. And everybody is always looking for tax relief, especially when the remaining part of that money might be going to other members of the family and future generations, right? Number three would be creating a charitable trust. And I kind of talked about that when I said just leaving that lasting legacy. So you can establish a charitable trust, right? And or charitable remainder trust, and fund it with the death benefit from that life insurance policy, right? So instead of it going directly to that organization, it goes to the death benefit going specific, right to that organization. It's going to go to that trust that you set up for it. And so the trust can provide income to your heirs for a specific period of time, as you can designate in that trust, or not at all. And then the remaining funds can go to the charity of your choice. So it offers both income for your family and financial support for charitable organizations, combining wealth building for your heirs with philanthropic giving. And that's why it's a charitable remainder, because after the money goes to your heirs, the remaining funds will go to whatever organization you choose. Number four, you also have the ability to support multiple causes. So if you support several charities now, you can name multiple charity organizations as beneficiaries in your life insurance policy. Each organization will then receive the percentage of the death benefit that you designate, allowing you to contribute to multiple causes that are important to you. So it doesn't just have to go to one organization, right? There may be quite a few. You might be in a sorority, you want to give part of a specific thing that your sorority does, right? It might be something at your church. Again, it might just be somebody an organization that you just contribute to now all of the time. Again, being able to not just have to leave to one organization, you can designate how much of that benefit goes to the organizations of your choice. So these examples demonstrate how life insurance can just be a powerful tool for charitable giving. It's not, when we think about life insurance, it's not necessarily just about you. It's so much more than somebody paying for your funeral. That's huge, and that's first. But there's so much more, so many other ways to be able to use that death benefit, again, to create that legacy, to pass down wealth, for later in life. All of these things that I've talked about for the last roughly 30 days, different ways to use life insurance. It's a very, very, very powerful tool. It's necessary, right? And when I talk about getting your financial house in order, life insurance is part of that. It's also a great way to leave a legacy in your name. We talk about leaving legacy, right? We talk about it. You hear it all the time. People talk about, I want to leave a legacy. Well, this is one way that you are allowed, or that allows you to do so in a kind of big fashion, right? And so again, we talk about building generational wealth as well. Life insurance is a tool to do that. It's a tool to build generational wealth. It's a tool to leave a legacy. We talk about generational curses. If the curse is going to start with you, the new system of success must start with you. You have to get the tools in order to create those new systems of success and pass down generational wealth, leave that legacy, have impact on others outside of your family. And so when you think about that legacy piece, right? And it's the thing that I talk about just in general with leaving, whether you have family or not. But let's say you do have siblings, I mean, children that you want to pass wealth down to that next generation. Well, part of this is if you're putting money into a charity, right, you're teaching them now to do the same thing so that they get to leave a legacy, and then it then winds up being the charity of their choice, right? And so you come together as a family and you're talking about this stuff. How do you impact the generations that are coming behind you? It's absolutely key, it's absolutely needed, and it's absolutely possible. And one of the ways that it becomes possible, right, is through life insurance. So you already know what my favorite thing for today is. It's life insurance. And again, just more reasons and more ways. Again, tomorrow I'm going to talk about things to consider um, before you have a conversation with me. And just to consider in general when you start talking about life insurance. So um, let's just get to those next steps. Complete the life insurance calculator to see how much coverage you need to have. And now that you've gone through, it's going to tell you how much coverage that you need just based off those 3 or 4 questions that it's going to ask you. In addition to that, I want you to start thinking about, well, what else do I want to do? What type of legacy do I need? It may tell you you need, $800,000 or $1.2 million in coverage. Well, you may up it and say, well, you know what? I'm going to get $1.5 million in coverage. That remaining piece I'm going to use for charitable giving or something like that. So just kind of think about what type of legacy you want to leave outside of passing down wealth to your children and the generations that follow. Then schedule that free consultation with me. The link to schedule that and to do your to see how much coverage you need. Both of those links are in the description below, along with a whole bunch of other freebies and things of that nature. So just make sure that you read through that. And then again, schedule that consultation with me and let's fill in the gaps in the coverage to get you what you need. Let's get your children insured. Let's talk through some things, right? Because you're going to have some ideas and you're going to have some thoughts. You're definitely going to have some questions. And then based on what you're saying, I'm going to be able to give you additional information, give you things to think about. It's very rare that I do an application right then with somebody that first time that we talk about life insurance, because there's usually information that I'm adding to the conversation that maybe you didn't think about before you came into that conversation, which then expands your thinking. And then we come back later, the second time or the third time in conversation and get the policy done. So that first one, again, most times it's usually about strategy because it isn't a cookie cutter. You all know how I feel about financial education and redefining your personal financial relationship. It's not, the strategy isn't cookie cutter for everybody. It's gonna fit you. So we need to be able to talk about your thoughts, what you want, your health, all of those things in order to be able to get you what it is that you need, the coverage you need, the type of policy you need based on your specific situation, goals, health, family, etc. All right. If this information has been helpful to you, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training. And share this channel with someone else. It's interesting. There was a young lady who was at the workshop this past Saturday, and she had really young kids. And If she was 30, she was 30. Like, she clearly was not over 32, but she probably wasn't in her 30s, because I believe she said, like, her parents and I are like the same age. And she's texting her mom through the whole workshop, right? She's hearing this information, and she knows that her mom, that her parents don't have things set up for them. So she's texting her mom through that whole workshop. And she was like, I now have stuff that I have to go back and talk to my parents about to make sure our family and our siblings are set up. And she comes from an entrepreneurship family, so brilliant people in the things that they do, but they're not adequately covered in this place. So she was able to get this information and then say, okay, well, now it's not just about me and my kids. It's about me, my kids, my parents, my siblings. And she got information that she can take back. So we'll wind up getting coverage for those people who need it, how they need it, because there were some special situations, medical situations also going on in that family. So when I ask you to share this channel, it's because you don't know who needs a thing. When she started telling the information about her siblings and her parents, when I first originally spoke with her, I didn't know any of that information. But because I was giving her information, the light bulb came on for other things. And she realized, wow, we don't have this covered. So share this channel with somebody else. You never know what somebody else is going through. You never know what someone else needs. You never know what someone else has been praying for. This could be the answer to someone's prayers. And as I always say, remember to give yourself some grace. Always, always, always give yourself some grace. It's one of the things that I talk about it every one of the workshops. Give yourself some grace. You don't know what you didn't know. You have to forgive yourself for what you did not know and what you did not do prior to this. So always give yourself some grace. Keep striving for your next level. Never, ever, ever give up on you. And always, always invest in you. It's the best investment that you will ever make. And I promise you, you will never, ever, ever regret it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great and amazing rest of the Monday. It is my daughter's birthday today. She's 23. My, how the time flies. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you